Today we will be talking about second regulatory. Second regulatory step is phosphofructokinase. Phosphofructokinase. So as we have already done, glucose into glucose 6 phosphate, and then this glucose 6 phosphate will convert into with reversible fructose 6 phosphate. Then this fructose 6 phosphate will convert into fructose 1,6 bis phosphate. Okay, then fructose 1,6 bis phosphate will break into 2. Okay, it will break into 2 1 triose aldose sugar, that is glyceraldehyde, and then other is dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Then glycolysis progress this way. So this is the first stage, and this is third reaction. This is second step, second regulatory step. Phosphofructokinase, PFK1. So you can see this reaction PFK. I'm writing here. So fructose 6 phosphate will convert into fructose 1,6 bis phosphate. 1,6 bis phosphate. 1,6. Note that 1,6. So PFK1. This PFK1. So remember this 1. PFK1 will convert fructose 6 phosphate into 1,6 bis phosphate. I am stressing on, in fact, I am emphasizing this point, 1,6 bis phosphate. Remember this. Fructose 6 phosphate will be converted into 1,6. This is second regulatory step, and this is irreversible step. This is first, this is second. So, and this is the most important regulatory step of all the three. This is the most important regulatory step. And see, after this step, glucose, this fructose 6 phosphate will convert into fructose 1,6 bis phosphate, and this fructose 1,6 bis phosphate does not have any choice other than to go for glycolysis. Glucose 6 phosphate has other choice, pentose phosphate pathway, glycogen synthesis. It does not have. That is why this is a committed step. After this step, the molecule, the hexagonal, this 6 carbon molecule will go into glycolysis. There is no other choice. That is why this step is committed step. So this is regulatory step and committed step.
Does that mean that
so I'll tell you in that process. So if you remember, how is enzyme regulated? 3 method. If you memorize, if you remember, there are 3 methods. First method is allosteric regulation. Allosteric regulation, what happens? This reactant is converted into product. Here the enzyme is PFK1. So this reactant will stimulate the product, and the product will inhibit the reactant. This is how thing happens. So this is allosteric regulation. So let me first talk about this allosteric regulation. So what will happen? This glucose 6 phosphate from glucose, and then this fructose 6 phosphate, then fructose will convert fructose 6 phosphate by this enzyme will be converted into fructose 1,6 bis phosphate. Now, so here you will see this reaction, as I have told you, phosphofructo PFK1 does this reaction. Now there is one other enzyme, okay, that enzyme actually convert this fructose 6 phosphate into fructose 2,6 bis phosphate, and this enzyme is PFK. This is shunt pathway. This is not the main pathway. This is diversion pathway, PFK2. So this enzyme is called PFK2. So this will produce this. So it is like glucose. Isn't this molecule like similar to glucose? Because glucose is ultimately being converted into fructose 2,6 bis phosphate. Okay. So this molecule is very similar to glucose. So in that sense, this is molecule is actually feedback activator. As I have told you, reactant stimulates. The same way glucose change its form into fructose 2,6-bisphosphate. Remember, 2-phosphofructokinase 2 will change fructose 6-phosphate into 2,6-bisphosphate. Phosphofructokinase 1 change fructose 6-phosphate into 1,6-bisphosphate. Remember the difference. Both are kinase, both are phospho acting on the same substrate. One change this substrate into 2,6-bisphosphate, other change this substrate for this. This is the part of main glycolytic pathway. This is the part of main glycolytic pathway, and this is the part of actually diversion reaction. Actually, the purpose of this pathway is to produce this molecule, and actually this molecule will activate this, stimulate this PFK. Okay, so more is the glucose, more will be this molecule. That means this molecule is representing glucose here, reactant. So more is the glucose, more is. So you can see feed forward. This is a type of feed forward stimulation that is happening here. Now what will happen already? So this happens. This now fructose ultimately will convert into pyruvate. Okay, so pyruvate will enter mitochondria.
Sorry, doctor, I had a question.
Yes.
So is the purpose of fructose 2,6-biphosphate just to activate PFK1? That's it?
It is only the purpose of this only is to stimulate this PFK. Only change glucose into a different form.
Can it be stimulated without fructose 2,6-bisphosphate?
No, it will be not that much.
What?
Okay.
This reaction is called pacemaker reaction of glycolysis. Remember that. Diversion pathway. It is called shunt pathway. Diversion. Pyruvate will form citrate. Okay, citrate. Citrate is an acid. Citrate and citrate, and then ATP. It will form ATP. Okay, so you can see this is a long product. This is reactant. This is functioning like reactant, and this is functioning like product. Citrate is a product, and then ATP is a product. So this product will inhibit. This product will inhibit, and as soon as glucose is metabolized, citrate is an acid. So pH drop. Low pH, acid means low pH will also inhibit. So these are the inhibitor. Products are inhibitor and reactant is the stimulator. Okay, so remember this. This is stimulator. This is product. So this is allosteric regulation. Now I'll tell you. I have one more slide. You can see the same slide I have given here. So you can see. So this is the same fructose 6-phosphate. You can see it will convert into. Now, fructose 6-phosphate will convert into 2,6-bisphosphate, and it will inhibit, it will activate this reaction. So this product, you can see this is citrate, this is product, and this is ATP. And we will talk about how citrate is formed. We will talk in Krebs cycle. So don't worry about it. So pyruvate ultimately form citrate, and citrate is the product. That is why citrate is inhibitor. ATP is product, that is why ATP is inhibitor. Now citrate represent low pH, that is why this is an inhibitor. Understand the whole picture. And now you can, as I have already told you, fructose 1,6-phosphate converts into 2,6, and it activates. And remember one more thing, low energy, because the purpose of glucose is to produce energy. The final product is energy. So reactant will be lack of energy, AMP. So in that sense, you can see low energy stimulate glycolysis, high energy inhibit glycolysis. So low energy is represented by AMP. AMP activate glycolysis, and ATP inhibit glycolysis. One thing, and this activate glycolysis, fructose 2,6-bisphosphate activate glycolysis, and this thing will inhibit glycolysis. Reactant activate, product inhibit. So last thing I will tell you, you can remember this whole thing through this mnemonics. Amplify, activate glycolysis, amplify means AMP and fructose 2,6-bisphosphate. AMP activate, and FY for fructose 2,6-bisphosphate, not 1,6, 2,6. It is very similar to glucose. You can remember. So it is like reactant activating enzyme. Now you can see inhibitors are ATP, acid attack. So you can see acid means low pH, attack means ATP and citrate. So low pH, ATP and citrate, these are inhibitors. You can find a very difficult type of complicated type of question, but if you remember the concept of reactant and product, reactant stimulates, product inhibit, you will be able to solve the question. So remember this principle. I told you in the beginning, these are the class will be the actually practice session of the principles we studied in enzyme. Okay, now this is PFK2. You remember this PF. Now, so we will talk about this pathway. We will talk about the diversion pathway that we see. So we will talk about this divergence. You know, fructose 6-phosphate converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, and then fructose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 2,6-bisphosphate. By which enzyme? PFK2. This 2 means this 2. PFK2 will change into fructose 2,6-bisphosphate. PFK1 change this fructose 6-phosphate into 1,6-bisphosphate. So remember this simple difference. Now we will talk about this enzyme. This enzyme actually is regulated by insulin. This is not insulin. Insulin receptor is like this. So insulin, and this is glucagon receptor is like. So glucagon and insulin control this enzyme. This is how? Through phosphorylation, dephosphorylation. We will talk about this. Okay, we will talk about this reaction. If this reaction is inactivated, this will be low and there will not be production. If this enzyme is activated, there will be production of this. So this is how, this is the switch that this glucagon and insulin controls. So you can see now synthesis of, so did you, now can you understand this? Forget about this. Can you understand this? Glucose is fructose, and fructose 6-phosphate will convert into fructose 2,6-bisphosphate by PFK2. Okay, by PFK2. And as you know, the high glucose, when is there high glucose in liver? When we eat. So during fed condition, glucose is very high. During fed condition, glucose is very high. So what will happen in that condition? Glucose will convert into fructose 6-phosphate, and fructose 6-phosphate will convert into fructose 2,6-bisphosphate. This is shunt pathway. This is the pathway. So sometimes you lose the track. Fructose 6-phosphate and then fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, and we are talking about this reaction. This PFK2 converts fructose into 2,6-bisphosphate. Actually, we are talking about this pathway. Okay, this pathway. So you can see glucose, fructose 6-phosphate is converting into this. So in fed condition, what will happen? Glucose will, very high amount of glucose will convert into this. And because of that, it is converted into this, it will stimulate this reaction in fed condition. So this enzyme is under regulation of insulin. You know, fed condition means insulin, fed for insulin. I have already explained in the beginning, fed means insulin. Just if you don't understand, just memorize this. Fed condition means insulin. Insulin means dephosphorylation. Remember this. So you can see insulin causes dephosphorylation of this enzyme. This is whole enzyme. Enzyme has two heads. This is such enzyme, it has got two heads. It has got two heads. When phosphorylated, one head is active. When dephosphorylated, other head, this head become inactive, other head will become active. So this two-headed enzyme, when it is dephosphorylated, what will happen? This is a dephosphorylated enzyme, is active enzyme of this PFK2. So this converts glucose, will convert into fructose 6-phosphate. Now more glucose, more fructose 6-phosphate will be there. and this enzyme will be activated by insulin. This process will be stimulated by insulin by dephosphorylation. Okay, so now you understood this process, how this insulin activate the production of this. We will talk about counterpart of the step. So when you are fasting condition, what will happen? In fasting condition, you don't have glucose. Your liver cell does not have glucose, very less glucose. When it is glucose is very less, complete no glucose, what will happen? The remaining this, if your body has very high amount of this, so this will convert into glucose. Opposite reaction. In fat condition, this high glucose will convert into fructose, but in fasting condition, this fructose 2,6, when you are hungry, you don't have glucose, so this fructose 2,6 bisphosphate will convert into glucose. It will convert into fructose 6-phosphate. Fructose 6-phosphate will convert into glucose. So this is the fasting state reaction. Because glucose is lacking, that is why it will convert. Now, how does insulin and glucagon fasting means? Glucagon, and glucagon means phosphorylation. So glucagon does phosphorylation. Once this enzyme is phosphorylated, this enzyme become this. This enzyme, the same two-headed enzyme, other head is activated. This is phosphatase. This enzyme causes removal of phosphate. And you can see 2-phosphate, 1-phosphate is removed, and this fructose 2,6 becomes fructose 6-phosphate. So this is the mechanism. This is done by glucagon. Dephosphorylation is done by glucagon. Then phosphorylation is done by glucagon, and insulin does dephosphorylate. So glucagon will phosphorylate, and for anything that phosphorylate is actually kinase put phosphate. I have already told you, from ATP, 1-phosphate is added, ATP will convert into ADP. Triphosphate will convert into diphosphate. The enzyme is kinase here, some kinase, and this glucagon will activate this kinase. It converts into this. Insulin converts opposite reaction. Sorry, this is not the direction. And this insulin activates phosphatase. So here also, from here also, there will be removal of phosphate group. When you eat, this enzyme converts into this. So this is when you are hungry, this enzyme converts into this. When you eat, it converts into it. When you are hungry, this converts into this. So this is the condition when you are hungry. This is the condition when you eat. And because when you eat, insulin become high in your body, and this will cause this enzyme to change into this. When you are hungry, glucagon will become high, and this glucagon cause this to change into this. Phosphorylate. Glucagon cause phosphorylate. Okay, did you understand up to this? Okay, so you can see how does glucagon change. So glucagon converts this into this by enzyme called protein kinase A, and this protein kinase is called CAMP dependent protein kinase. Remember the name of this protein. So this converts into this, and this is under influence of glucagon. Now I'll tell you. So you can see this is under influence of glucagon. So glucagon fasting means glucagon. Glucagon means what? High CAMP. High CAMP means phosphorylation. For the timing, just memorize. This is the formula, just memorize this. Okay, this is formula, memorize this. And this insulin means high CAMP, here means low CAMP, is equal to dephosphorylation. Just memorize this formula. Insulin means dephosphorylation. So this will happen. The opposite reaction will happen when you eat. This will convert into this. This will convert into this, and as a result, what will happen? This will be dephosphorylate, and the whole path will go. And this is done by insulin. Insulin reduces phosphorylation. So this is the whole thing. So actually, this enzyme is enzyme. You can see this is enzyme fructose 6-phosphate when converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, and this is the pathway, shunt pathway, fructose 2,6-bisphosphate, and here PFK2 is there, and this PFK2 will actually be regulated by hormone insulin and glucagon. IG ratio we call insulin and glucagon. In fed condition, insulin becomes high, and this insulin actually activate this. I have the same thing I have shown. So in fed condition, it will be activated, and then it will be produced. It will activate. In fasting condition, opposite thing will happen. So this will convert into this. Okay, and then glucose. So this is molecular. This is the control point. This is the control point of insulin and glucagon. PFK2 or fructose 2,6-bisphosphate. This is a bifunctional enzyme, two-headed enzyme. So this is the control point of your insulin and glucagon. Remember, this is why this step is called pacemaker, because this is regulated by insulin and glucagon indirectly. Insulin and glucagon does not control PFK1 directly. It controls PFK1 indirectly through this enzyme. Did you get that? Any question? Okay. No question? I'll move. So this is the very thing you need to understand. Just try to answer this question. A child brought in with a suspected enzyme deficiency. The child is jaundiced and has history of icterus and seizure. After blood chemistry is done, it is found that the child is missing functional protein kinase A enzyme. Missing. Which of the following enzymes is negatively affected by PK absence of which of the enzyme activity is low because of deficiency of protein kinase. Let's segregate this whole pathway into fed enzyme and fasting enzyme. These are fed enzyme. This is fed enzyme. PFK2 is fed enzyme. PFK1 is fed enzyme. Okay. So these are fed enzyme. This is fasting enzyme. Okay. This is fasting enzyme. Phosphatase, this is fasting enzyme. This is also fasting enzyme. So fed and fasting, if you classify between fed enzyme and fasting enzyme, you will be able to answer. So this is fasting or fed enzyme. Protein kinase A is fed, fasting or fed enzyme. This is activated by glucagon. You can say this is activated by glucagon. Glucagon represents fasting condition. So this is fed or fasting enzyme?
Fasting.
Fasting enzyme. So fasting, this is fasting enzyme. So fasting enzyme will be negatively affected. Which of the following is fasting enzyme?
F.
This is the fasting enzyme. Yeah, this is the fructose 2,6-bisphosphatase. This is the fasting enzyme. You can see this is the fasting enzyme. If this is not there, this will not be there. So can you see? This enzyme will be affected. So this is the answer. Here classify enzyme between fed enzyme and fasting enzyme. That is the most important solution. Easy thing. The easy way to solve the question. Classifying enzyme into fed enzyme and fasting enzyme. That means some enzymes, fed enzymes, are actually friend of insulin. They work with insulin. Some enzymes work with glucagon. So classify into fed enzyme and fasting enzyme. Some enzymes are active in fasting condition. So they are glucagon enzyme, friend of glucagon. Some enzymes are active in fed condition. They are friend of insulin. If you classify that way, you have clarity. Yes.
So is PFK2 only used in the fed condition?
PFK2 is
Okay.
fed condition. You can see this from the questions. PFK2 will be active only in fed condition. This is two-headed enzyme. So when it is dephosphorylated in fed condition, then only this part will be activated. In fasting condition, it is phosphorylated. The whole enzyme is a protein with two-headed protein. So other head is this. So when it is phosphorylated, this is inactive. This part is inactive, and this part becomes active. So this is fed enzyme. This is fasting enzyme. Phosphatase is fasting enzyme. PFK2 is fasting fed enzyme, and that PFK1 is also fed enzyme, because glycolysis happens in fed condition. This is controlled. This is activated in fed condition because glucose will activate this ultimately. Did you get that?
So, doctor, in the fed condition, the fructose 6-biphosphate, is it also an enzyme with that? If I try to follow the chart,
What? Yes.
is the fed condition also like, does the fed condition also have the fructose 6-biphosphate enzyme? Or is it just the...
Is in fed condition, which this enzyme, yes, in fed, see, proteins are there, okay, but in fed condition, this protein is sleeping.
So both of them, like fed and fasting condition, has fructose 2,6-biphosphate.
Yes, both have. Both condition,
Okay.
the protein will be there. But
Okay.
in fed condition, this protein will be sleeping, inactive. In fasting condition, this will be active.